Hi, everyone. This is a masterclass connecting with people at JV events. Have you ever walked into a JV event and feel unsure of how to truly connect with people? And do you struggle with engaging in meaningful conversations instead of just pitching your business? And have you ever felt like networking is just transactional rather than relationship driven? I've been there. I've watched many entrepreneurs struggle to build genuine connections at JV events because they focus too much on selling. But here's the thing, JV events are not about selling at all. They're about building relationships that lead to opportunities. I'm Kim Groshek, and for over 30 years of guiding leaders and entrepreneurs, I've discovered that success at JV events comes down to one thing: authentic connection. Today, I'm here to show you how to read the room, listen deeply, and build relationships that create long-term success. Now, who here wants to leave a JV event feeling like they made real lasting connections? Put me in the comments. Who here struggles with knowing how to start conversations that matter? Put me in the comments. Who here wants to build strategic partners without coming off as salesy? Put strategic in the comments. At JV events, your ability to succeed isn't about how well you pitch. It's about how well you listen, engage, and build trust. Now, JV events have pitching, so don't get me wrong, you do need to pitch, but it's all about reading the room. Observe before you engage. Identify the energy dynamics and the key players. You can listen to what people are saying just from waiting and hearing. Now, if you're speaking on a Zoom live like I am today, you ask before and make sure that the audience you're talking to is your avatar, because it's not, don't waste your time speaking at events or going to JV events if your audience isn't going to resonate. The second thing you want to do is listen to understand. Engage with curiosity. Ask open-ended questions. Build relationships first. Offer value. Establish trust. And let the opportunities flow naturally. Now, let me break these down and show you how to apply them at your next JV event. The first concept: read the room. Most people walk into a room immediately and start looking for who they can pitch to. Instead, take a step back and observe who is leading the conversation, who's engaged, and who seems open to connections. Now, again, JVs are not about selling to another person. It's about the relationship. So what I want you to do is the next time you enter a JV event, spend a few of the first 10 minutes and simply observe, identify 3 people that you'd like to connect with, and note why. Take a note and actually write it down. And then practice these with individuals with a genuine interest. You can even do it with your sister, brother, or friend or colleague. And ask them what they do before discussing your own work. Number 2, listen to understand. The most powerful way to connect is to make the conversation about the other person. And this not salesy and not trying to push. A few years ago, I attended a high-profile JV event, excited to make connections and share my latest project. I had my elevator pitch polished, my business cards ready, and a strategy in mind. My goal: meet potential partners and get them excited about collaborating. As I introduced myself to well-connected industry leaders, I immediately launched into what I was working on: my latest book, my business growth strategies, my vision for the future. I was animated, passionate, and confident. But as I spoke, I noticed something really strange. The person across from me nodded politely, and their eyes started to glaze over. Have you ever felt that way? Put yes in the comments. Their responses were short, their smile forced, and a few minutes in, they checked their watch and then excused themselves to grab a drink. The conversation was over before it even began. I felt a pang of disappointment. What had gone wrong? Later, I reflected on that interaction and realized a hard truth. I had made the entire conversation about me. I never paused to ask about them, their challenges, their goals, or what they were looking for. I had been so focused on making an impression that I had failed to actually connect. That experience taught me that the most powerful way to engage isn't by talking, it's by listening. When you shift the focus from yourself to the other person, you create space for real connection. People don't remember what you say, they remember how you made them feel. And being heard makes people feel valued. At my next JV event, I made a conscious effort to do things differently. Instead of leading with my own story, I asked open-ended questions. What brings you to this event? Pause. What's the biggest challenge you're facing right now? Pause. What kind of connections are you looking for? Pause. And then I truly listened. I repeated their key points back to them, showing how I understood. I engaged with curiosity, true, authentic curiosity, rather than trying to direct the conversation towards my agenda. The result? Deeper conversations, more meaningful conversations, and ironically, more opportunity. But when you make someone feel heard, they naturally become more interested in you. And that's where you share conversation. It's not that you just listen to guided, you are having a conversation. So there's a power of listening to understand. At this core, the foundation of authentic connection is simple. People want to be seen and heard and understood. Most networking conversations fail not because of lack of opportunity, but because people are too focused on what they will say next rather than truly engaging in the person in front of them. We've all been in the conversations where someone's just waiting for their turn to speak. It feels transactional, surface level, and forgettable. And here's the deal. When you pitch, it's the same way. You're in your own head. You're worried about your own pitch. Oh my goodness, I want to make sure everything's right in that pitch. It's that same thing. See, but when you listen to understand rather than to respond to everything shifts. And this is where I wait. I don't just jump right in and do a pitch. Sometimes I do because I know the room already. But when it is that I don't know the room, I wait and I hear because I'll shift my pitch to make sure that it resonates with them. So you create trust, deepening the relationships and position yourself as someone who genuinely cares, which we do. And people naturally gravitate towards those who make them feel valued. So don't make it fake. But it's a practice. You have to practice the muscle. And in the world of joint ventures, trust and rapport are the foundation of successful partnerships. The key principle behind approach is curiosity over control. Instead of controlling the conversation to fit your agenda, stay curious about the other person's experiences, challenges, and goals. And when you prioritize listening over talking, you gain invaluable insights. You uncover opportunities and build connections that last. At its essence, networking is not about selling, it's about serving. And the best way you can serve is to first understand. So let's practice this. And I'm going to have you write this down if you have a piece of paper or get on your screen and open up your Word document or notepad. There's successful strategies in action. Strategic networking for business growth. As a visionary leader, I've developed a system for fostering high impact connections within my network. A recent example involved organizing an exclusive mastermind event where I brought together a diverse group of industry leaders, including top executives from various sectors. Through structured networking, intentional pauses, and powerful group dialogues, participants not only expanded their professional circles, but they also unlocked new collaborative ventures. One company launched a joint venture as a direct result of a connection made at this event, increasing their revenue by 35% within the first quarter of operation. You can also leverage AI for efficiency. It's okay to use it, but you use it as a system. You don't let the system use you. In my work with global C-suite leaders, I introduced a strategy that combined AI tools with personal time management practices. For instance, one of my clients, a multinational CEO, was overwhelmed with decision fatigue. And I implemented a strategic pause system where AI-driven reports filtered routine decisions, giving the client space to focus on critical strategic initiatives. How did I know that? I heard what he needed and what he wanted and what gap he had. This shift increased the CEO's productivity by 25% and gave them back 20 hours per week, which they reinvested into high-level leadership activities, positively impacting the company's bottom line. And, authors, empowering them to break through the blocks. And I introduced a unique strategy for overcoming writer block, because a lot of people have to write things, right? And this writer block combined structure writing rituals with mindfulness techniques. For one client, a best-selling author, struggled with their next book. I guided them through a 30-day writing sprint with daily prompts and pauses for reflection. The result, they completed their manuscript ahead of time schedule, and resulted in a top-ranking launch and a significant boost in their personal brand. These examples highlight how a successful strategy with actionable solutions through driving measurable results, whether through dynamic networking, leveraging technology, and empowering creative professionals to realize their full potential. All right. So now what you want to do, this is where you want to write down. You want to ask 3 questions before talking about yourself. 1, what brings you to the event? 2, what's the biggest challenge you're facing right now? And 3, what kind of connections are you looking for? And usually those questions are being answered without you even asking the question. So make sure that you're listening and just gather the information. You can repeat their key points back to them as they are answering the questions, or even just sharing, right? You show that you truly are listening, which you are. All right, so concept 3, building relationships first. That is key. Trust is the currency of joint ventures, but before asking for anything, focus on giving. So what you want to do is you want to offer one piece of value to every person you meet and introduce a resource or an insight. I always say in a conversation, I'm giving you a golden nugget. So know that they're getting that from, because sometimes people get that they got something from you. So you have to communicate that as well so that they're hearing that. And then you want to follow up after the event with a personalized message, reinforcing your connection, or just following up to say if you want to meet. So let me share an example of how this framework has helped with one of my clients. I had a first-time phone call with someone who was actually asking to be on on their podcast, and it was an introduction call. And it was 2:30 in the morning. She was living in Madrid. And first of all, I showed up, which was the first thing, right? You want to have integrity and show up. And then the second thing was I truly listened. I usually ask them right away, what is it that you're dealing with? What is it that you do? I'm curious. I'm very curious. Be curious. At the end, I ended up getting a full email with all kinds of things that she wanted back from me, because she wanted to participate in all my things that I'm doing, my mastermind. She wanted to buy my North Star assessment. She wanted to be a mentor on my Mentor Me Summit stage and in my dynamic games. She wanted to be on a fireside chat with me. She just totally was engaged. She wanted to collaborate, and that's what I do. And this is one of the things she sent to me right away after our meeting. I truly appreciated Kim's generosity and wisdom through our call. Kim bridges the gaps for entrepreneurs and creates dynamic spaces for authentic growth. The energy Kim brings is exactly what the world needs right now, and I'm excited to keep co-creating and amplifying each other's impact. Helena, she's a catalyst for smart, conscious women transforming their lives, and then she's a show host and an author of It's Your Turn. So let me share a moment from my own journey that was pivotal during a turning point for me. So a few years ago, I was attending an exclusive business event, a gathering of influential leaders from various industries. Like many entrepreneurs and consultants, at the time I was playing many hats. I initially thought I needed to stand out by aggressively promoting my services and sharing my achievements. But something felt off. I noticed that many of the conversations seemed transactional, with people quickly moving from one pitch to the next, never really connecting on a deeper level. In fact, I came home with a handful of business cards, but no one really asked for my business card. And at that moment, I made a decision. Instead of pushing my agenda, I would focus solely on listening and adding value to others. And I spent my time asking thoughtful questions, truly understanding the people I was engaged with, and offering advice or resources where I could. Within a few months, something incredible happened. The people I had connected with started reaching out to me for collaborations, partnerships, and opportunities. And sometimes people don't see right away because they are so overwhelmed with so much work. But I get that. I say, just remember me a lot of times on the Zoom calls, right? The focus on adding value first, rather than just asking for something, led to this development of lasting, meaningful business relationships that have since become major pillars of my professional network. And this shift in approach is grounded in a simple yet powerful philosophy: connection over transaction. Instead of viewing networking as a way to sell your offer, it's about creating opportunities for genuine relationships. It's not about pushing your agenda. It's about actively listening, contributing value, building trust first. You don't have to give it all away. Everyone else says you have to give 100%, 600%. You listen and then you give a nugget. People can take it away and apply it in their lives and see value and say, oh my goodness, Kim had that idea. So in today's world, we're all inundated with pitches. So when we take the time to pause, understand others and their needs, and offer our support, we create an environment where collaboration thrives. The foundation of this approach is based on building long-term trust, not seeking immediate wins. This philosophy has played out not only in my own life, but in the lives of my clients. So take Mark, for example. Mark is an entrepreneur who was always at networking events, but he was frustrated with the results. He would show up, pitch his business, and leave with little follow-up or genuine connections. Have you ever been at those networking events and you've been the recipient of that? You know how that feels. After working together, we redefined his networking approach, and he learned to take a step back, focus on listening, and genuinely offer value without expecting anything in return or shoving something down their throat. Within a few moments, Mark had built high-quality partnerships that led to major business opportunities, including joint ventures that saw his revenue double. In my own experience, I've applied this strategy across multiple events and platforms, from small meetups and large summits. The results are clear. When you lead with a spirit of collaboration rather than competition, you unlock new opportunities and build stronger, more meaningful relationships. So now it's your turn. The next time you walk into a joint venture or networking event, try something different. Spend the first 10 minutes simply observing. Look around the room, identify 3 people you'd like to connect with. Make a note of why you're drawn to them. After that, approach them with a genuine interest in what they do. Ask questions, listen attentively, and resist the urge to talk about your own business until you're truly understood theirs. This subtle shift in mindset not only helps you build deeper connections, but also create opportunities that may surprise you in the long run. And by practicing this, you'll be stepping into a new world of networking that's not just transactional, but transformative. So I'm going to ask you to do a call for adventure. The next time you enter a JV event, spend the first 10 minutes simply observing. Identify those 3 people you'd like to connect with and note why. And then approach these individuals with genuine interest in what they do before discussing your own work. And now that you've had a taste of how these principles can shift your networking approach, I want to invite you to take this journey further with me. I work with high achievers who are ready to build meaningful connections and leverage joint venture events for real success, and I'm here to guide you every step of the way. I'd like to offer you something special, a 10-day free trial into my Forward Sprint Mastermind. This is a year-long membership program designed for leaders who want to accelerate their growth and build powerful networks that translate into real business opportunities. Normally, this membership is $500 a month, and it includes personalized one-on-one coaching, actionable strategies, and access to community of like-minded individuals, plus training cohorts and all kinds of templates, not just templates, but tools that I use and I actually give to you to leverage. So in the next 10 days, you'll get a sneak peek into some of these benefits on a trial basis. This is your chance to experience firsthand how this mastermind can shift your approach and propel your business forward. If you're ready to dive deeper into these networking principles and elevate your business and your life, use the link in comments and enter the code to start now. The code is BUILD, build, BUILDAND, grow, build and grow. I'm excited to take your networking and business success to the next level. It's time to stop treading on water. And it's time to stop treating networking as a sales pitch. You deserve to walk away from every JV event with powerful aligned relationships. No matter what stage you're in, your network is your greatest asset. I'm here to challenge you. Approach your next JV event with a listening first mindset. Let's begin this journey together. Your network is your net worth. Let me say that again. Your network is your net worth. Let's build it the right way. Until next time.